You gonna do it this time?
Hi, good evening. Good day. Hello, how
Whatever
are you?
the hell it is.
Happy Flag Day.
It's Flag Day?
It's Flag Day, June
Which-
14th.
Which flag?
The flag.
The American
of the
flag?
United,
Oh.
No, the flag of the United States.
I don't know. These days it's hard to know whether it's that or the Gaskin flag. Or...
No, it's the flag of the United
Something.
States. It's been that way for a long time.
Oh, it has?
Yeah.
Flag.
Big shout out to a real good friend of mine, Amina Yunus.
Amina Yunus.
Yes.
That sounds familiar. Do I know her?
She's from a faraway land, and just
You
wanted
mean
to
like
say hello.
Goffstown or
No,
like wicked far away? Like
wicked
where?
far, like really far away.
Hillsborough?
More.
I don't know. That's as far as I've ever gone. So
Yeah. But anyway, big shout out to Amina.
anyway, this is John Heichel, the Honorable John Heichel, and I'm Gary Hopper, and welcome to Rock Paper Hand Grenades. Our guest Al Baldasaro is not here yet. I think there was a traffic jam over on 93 or something. That's which way he would have been coming in on.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yes.
Yes.
We'll ask him if that's the way he
Oh,
came.
yeah, if he allegedly came in that way.
Did you really come in the way of the traffic jam?
Yeah.
And if so, why didn't you avoid it?
Right, exactly.
So,
So anyway, what do you think about the
boy, there's a lot of stuff going on.
Oh gosh, it's amazing. It's just like
Shootings going on.
Shootings
in,
going on.
Washington at a Republican congressional softball game.
Yeah, in case you guys didn't hear, there was a
Wow.
the Democrats and Republicans fight each other in a baseball game tomorrow night in a charity that actually is they're on target to make $600,000 for local charities in D.C. And when they were sitting there practicing, a guy came up and says, "Is this the Republican practice or the Democrat practice?"
Amazing.
And the guy and one of the congressmen says, "Oh, that's Republicans over there." He walked away, and the next thing you know, he hears shooting, and the guy started just shooting, trying to kill congressmen. Luckily,
Really sad.
the only reason there was not like a massive loss of life is because the majority whip, right?
Yes.
The majority whip was there, and because he's in leadership, he has a security detail that follows him around. And it was a security detail that took the whack job out. So that was the big news of today. Is Al
Gary, how are you?
Al Baldasaro,
Al
my
Baldasaro.
mentor.
Senator, how are you? John, always
How
a
are you,
pleasure,
sir?
my friend.
Good to see you, brother.
You know, I just happened to be in John's neighborhood there, and I stopped by to say hello. And
Right.
he was working as usual there, taking care of his customers there, and I seen a few happy customers.
An extreme pleasure to see you, Al.
Yeah, same here.
Great
I
stuff,
apologize for getting here a couple minutes late.
Yeah, well,
My wife's out there trying to find a meter that works.
oh yeah,
Okay.
it's wicked
Ooh.
tough.
It wouldn't take my credit card.
Right.
So now if I get a ticket, I got proof right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've walked to several meters to get.
Yeah, she's out there now walking
Yeah.
the streets here for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To find a meter with my credit card. It's a shame, yeah. We're going to talk to
I am not
Talking
going
to
to
the
say
mayor or somebody, right?
I love Mayor Ted Gatzis. We're going to have to talk to him there. 'cause
Right.
I'm sure he's not aware of this going on.
I
Right.
bet he is because
He's losing money. No, Ted.
Well, I don't know if
he
he's
wants
losing
for the
money, if
city.
he's gaining money, if it's not deliberate.
Yeah, but if I can't pay for a meter, well, maybe they'll make money
Maybe
off
they'll
the
get
ticket.
they'll get
Yeah.
money out to $10 off a ticket instead
You
of
know,
$2 for parking.
I'd be right at the Manchester City Hall there if I got a ticket there because I
Class action
couldn't pay.
lawsuit.
Yeah, so I tell you, it's been busy. I've been up at the State House the last few days, seeing what's going on with the budget. I was kind of disgusted today there because you're familiar with, about the Hyde Amendment. The Hyde Amendment, which is on abortions,
Yes.
that you can't use taxpayers' money.
Correct,
It's
yeah,
federal
yeah,
law.
yeah.
Right.
Well, in New Hampshire, we had it in our rules. So what happened is now instead
Whose
of...
rules? The
in New-
Republican?
Yeah, in the House rules. I mean, not the House, but the state rules.
State
The
Republican?
Health and Human Services.
Right.
Okay, so what happened is they took that and they put it in the budget there to make sure that no money goes towards, abortions. So what happened now, because we took that from the rules section and put it into the budget there to make it law, Democrats won't even vote for a budget. Now, in that budget, there's money for Health and Human Services, drug, programs,
Right.
children, the women's prison, and because of abortions, I was so aggravated when I seen this today. that
That's
they're
it.
saying they won't vote for
Abortion
the...
Abortion is king, Al, you know
You ain't
that.
kidding. I mean, they'd rather protect killing babies
Right.
than protect people with, fighting with opioids and
Oh, sure,
issues.
sure.
And, I mean, I don't understand it. All the money, they keep saying a cut, cut, cut. No, it's not a cut.
Right.
If you ask for 80 million and we give you 40 million more than what you got the year before, how's that a cut?
Yeah, I don't know, if
It is for
people who aren't into politics don't get this, right?
Mhm.
So an agency will come and say, we want, $100,000 more than we got last year. And you say, okay, and we give them $50,000 instead. They will claim that was a 50% cut in their funding.
You ain't kidding. Now, this stuff here,
Right.
like this,
It's like your boss going to you and say, you go to your boss and say, I want, $2 an hour raise. And the
Right.
boss says, well, I'll give you a buck. He says, well, that's a 50%
it's a pay cut. Yeah.
It's a pay cut.
You ain't kidding.
Really?
I mean, this is stuff I got, from the budget being there a couple of days. There's a lot more amendments that are in my car. But I mean, you're talking over $11 billion budget,
Right.
Right.
and the Democrats kept saying, no, we want more money.
Now, what was last term's budget?
Last term was, I think, about 11,300,000, somewhere around there.
Okay.
The other sheet I don't have.
We're basically staying close to what
Yeah,
we
so
were
we're a
last time.
few $1 million more in spending because there's more revenues that come in to spend.
Yeah.
So, and that's talking with $100 million in the rainy day fund, which makes New Hampshire good. And if we have a disaster, we're all set.
Right.
We have the money there to be able to take care of our own while we wait for help, But I was kind of disgusted over the Democrats today. They really peed
Now,
me off.
How do Republicans do on this? Are
They did-
are they
they-
on board with
well,
not spending money they don't have yet?
The ones that are there were on board, and you got some great conservatives
Great
that sit
ones.
there.
Oh, absolutely.
You're talking Ken Wiley,
Right.
Lynn Ober has always been good with us. They were part of the Republican team
Right.
that did the cuts with O'Brien.
Right.
That are on that budget committee there.
Right. We're lucky we
so-
have them.
Yeah, but we still got a small amount of Republicans. I'm hoping they realize that we got the best we can, because we had the suit there with the women's court.
Yeah.
That was $12, $14
Yeah, we got to do
million
something
dollars.
about the
So we have to pay for
women's
that.
prison stuff.
Medicaid expansion, Medicaid has cost us a lot more money. We were $60-something million in the hole. They found some money there, and then we end up putting another $32 million in there. So
Right.
now we had to cover some more money in there. I think it was like about $111 million, somewhere around there. So when they keep saying it's up 10%, no, the spending's not up 10%. It's like 1.8% and 1.7, each year.
Right,
So it's
right.
not up that high. So I'm hoping my fellow Republicans come through and let's support this budget.
Because if they don't, what do we do?
If they don't, we either have to shut the government down or we got to do a resolution. And, we got a good governor there who's doing a great job for the people, and, we've got to work with him. And he didn't get what he wanted.
Right.
I don't think anyone
What happened
ever
to the
gets.
all-day kindergarten?
Well, this is what's going on. There was some talk about behind the scenes whether they want to support Keno, okay, because the Senate does not support Keno. So the all-day kindergarten there was on hold.
Yeah.
Nothing happened with that now. They still can sign off on it. There's a separate committee or conference going on for that. So that's not part of the budget.
Okay.
Because the revenue funding for that was Keno. So if they don't support Keno, then all-day kindergarten dies.
Okay.
So
Good.
that, I don't know, I didn't get
I
over
hope
to
they
that.
both die.
I didn't get over to that hearing today.
Yeah.
So it's contingent on Keno passing.
On Keno, right, because they need a revenue source for this here. Because you're talking...
And they won't increase taxes.
Yeah, you're talking, I don't know, $14 million more.
Right.
Now, a town like my town in Londonderry, or maybe even Goffstown, I don't know, do you have full-time kindergarten?
Yeah, we have half day. I think
You have
we
half-day,
We have a
right?
kindergarten. We
Right,
built
but you
one.
got half-day.
I think it's half day.
Just like us, we
I
have
think
half-day.
Maybe more now.
Now, right now, the cities and towns can vote for either full-time or half-day. They can do that now, okay? And they can get adequacy funding for that. So, like my town, if we go full-time, that means we need a new cafeteria. We got a school. We got to put a cafeteria. We need more classroom. We need more teachers. So that $11,000 extra carrot that we would get for the whole thing, for Londonderry, is nothing.
Right.
You know what I mean? The taxpayers would get a major tax cut. I mean tax.
Hike, yeah.
hike.
Right.
You know?
Plus once that's in place, and this is, first of all, I'm opposed. One of the reasons I'm opposed to it is once that's in place, then you'll have some legislator who thinks it's a great idea to decide, well, are we wasting our money? We really need kindergarten testing.
Well, yeah, and then we need preschool.
Then we need preschool
Right.
testing.
I mean, and
it's
it's
just,
a shame, and that's the liberal mentality. You know, I had 7 kids, and I think 3 out of my 7 had half days.
Yeah.
Now, my 3 kids that had the half days, you know, master's degree. Another one has a bachelor's. He's doing TV shows around the country. Right
Yeah.
now, he's in Florida doing the A&E police show.
Yeah.
You know, the live police show on Friday nights. My other one went in the Marines. Now, ones that went full time. You know, I have one that has an Italian restaurant. One, you know, and they were in this Democrat cities there, and they were no different
right,
than my other ones, except my, you know, the half ones got, better degrees.
right.
You know, so I try to weigh it out and see the difference, but
No, actually, the
You
kids
know.
that go to kindergarten, any kid that doesn't go to kindergarten, within I think it's 3 months, everybody's caught up and are on the same page.
That's right,
It
yeah.
makes no real
right.
difference.
I mean, I believe it. You know, I got nothing against a half-day kindergarten. I think it's a great. Full-day parents, some parents there, they were talking about looking for, or the government was looking for a work program. More people to go to work because the kids are in school now.
Right.
And I'm saying, are you doing this for the good of the kids, or are you doing this to get more parents to work?
That's what it's about.
You know, this is a local control. This is a family issue.
Right.
You know, there's full-day programs out there for kindergarten.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to put your kid in there, and there's also scholarship money for that stuff.
Did you see what slid through, speaking about unfunded mandates, which this isn't quite, but it's close. And I didn't know it. I guess we voted on it last year. It was one of those things that slid through. And it requires that your school system in Londonderry or Goffstown or where, that the school nurse has to have a 4-year degree.
Oh, yeah, I was shocked at that.
And 3 years of
Yeah.
pediatrics.
How did
There's some
pediatrician, right.
pediatricians who won't qualify.
Yeah.
So how is that not
I
an
don't know
unfunded
how.
mandate?
I don't know how that ever happened. That's up to it. Was on the consent
I
calendar.
think it was a Martha Fuller crap bill.
Right. Somehow it got put in the consent calendar, and then somehow it got missed.
Right.
I don't know how that
I
happened.
know there was a roll call vote when it went through
Right.
originally, and I voted
Yeah.
against it
Mhm.
because I saw the roll call vote,
Right.
and I'm sure you did,
I'd
but
have to look and see how I did.
I'm sure
You know what I
you
mean?
voted
Because
against it.
if there was a roll call vote, then I went against it.
Yeah.
You know, there's no doubt. But if it was on the consent calendar, because I'll be honest.
No, it wasn't. It was
Some of them on the consent calendar, I look at the subjects and I say, look at the importance, and then I pull the bill and read it.
right.
But I don't read, I'm guilty, I don't read every one on the consent calendar.
No, you-
If there's an 18 or 19, there's 0 vote,
Right, right.
I put confidence in my fellow, Republicans that are on those committees.
Right.
Right. Yeah, that is true. I don't read
Mm-hmm.
all those because that would just be mind-numbingly boring.
Well, we did just recently pass the one to straighten out the testing. I think, what is it, 3rd grade, 6th grade, and 8th grade?
To eliminate a lot
To
of
eliminate
it.
a lot of the testing going on there.
Yeah, because I've watched my grandson who is, just graduated and moved on to high school, and I can't believe all the testing that kid went through this
Oh, it's
year.
crazy.
It's insane.
We're teaching to the test. We're spending
That's it.
more time. I don't know how years ago we done so much with so little. You know what I mean? When it comes to money, and today it seems like we throw more money at education, and we're not getting a great result.
Well, I
like
think
we
that
did
comes
years
down
ago.
to
What is going? I don't understand. What are we doing wrong?
well, it's easy. It's wicked simple.
Go back 70, 80 years. I mean, little country schoolhouses.
They did
These
fine.
people,
Right.
The children
50,
did fine.
60 kids in a classroom.
Yeah,
They
Right.
grew up to build this nation.
Right.
The
But,
greatest, the greatest engine that we've had in this
You know, I
nation.
was
You-
just
you
talking.
know
They
what the
come out of the
difference is?
smallest schools.
but,
The difference? Why'd your kids do so good?
well, my kids were in. They didn't
No,
take too much with
no,
no
I
child
don't-
left behind stuff there.
No.
but- well, they had one-on-one teachers.
No.
I mean, I don't know why. Tell me, Gary.
Same reason he did good and you did good. Dads.
Oh yeah, moms and dads. Yeah, we
You
were
had
scared.
dads?
Yeah, well, that's true.
Okay. How
my,
many kids?
My kids said they were intimidated by me. I just had to look at them.
Yeah, yeah.
So I had that voice that gained attention when I walked in the house.
Ted Hutt.
Ted Hutt? No, I had a jarhead for a dad. I know that.
Your dad
That's
was
child
military.
abuse, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
But anyway,
But today it's child
Yeah,
abuse.
of course it is.
You know what I mean?
But
Yeah.
anyway, you had, if you look at right now, okay, I had the honor of giving a young lady from our church what is it, money for school, college, what do you call it?
Scholarship?
Scholarship,
Mhm.
okay? Most of the people receiving awards, guess where they are? Females. You know why? Because about roughly, I think the number is actually closer to 60%, but just slightly over half of boys are raised with their biological role model in the home. The vast majority, I'm guessing, and I'm probably correct, over 90% of girls are raised with their biological role model in the home. Girls have such a massive advantage over boys right now in school and everything else. It's really, I mean, you talk about people not getting into the sciences and the maths. That's because the boys they don't have dad around to look up to.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
A lot of families today, yeah. But the thing is, should the schools be the moms and dads?
They can't. I'm
can't
saying
do it.
they can't.
They're there to
No.
teach. And you know what? I was talking with a school teacher. I met, my wife and I were out to dinner last Friday night at the Coach Stop in Londonderry. And there was a teacher that we just met the family. The town council guy I was out with the dinner with, he knew this lady.
Yeah.
But anyways, I got to talking to her, and her kids, she's a third grade teacher. And I won't even say what town. But she was saying that she's forced to, under No Child Left Behind and under Race to the Top, Obama, she has a child in her class. When this child goes off, she has to take her whole class out of the classroom, leave him there with somebody, and then walk around the school for 15 minutes and come back and hope that he's calmed down. Why wouldn't they move that child into another class there with a specialized teacher? You know what I mean? Instead of leaving these kids in with some issues.
So basically, you put this child in charge of that class.
Yeah, basically, and that child's controlling that class.
Yep.
And then meanwhile, the other children in the classroom are losing out on their education.
Why? Yeah. Why would by doing that, you're putting all that control in the hands of, say, a 10-year-old.
And then you got the administrators supporting it.
And why would the 10-year-old do anything other than maintaining control?
Right. Well, this is a young boy that autism,
Yeah.
that has some issues there, and that needs help, and that needs a good education. But there are special teachers for that. Why would you put him in? And this teacher said, we go to the administrators, and there's nothing we can do. We have no choice but to have him in our class. So every time, at least once a day, we have to go for a 15-minute walk. The other kids, so they don't have to be put through that.
It's got to be terribly frustrating.
It is. I mean,
To
it
be
was to
an
that
educator.
teacher.
I mean, I
And then-
do sympathize. I have a lot of sympathy for the educators today.
Yeah, I feel bad for the
I mean, they've
teachers
got-
in the trenches.
Yeah, they've got,
Those are the ones that are really in there, and the administrators are sitting behind a desk there making these rules, and they forgot where they came from.
right.
Well, I think a
know.
lot of that's handed down right from D.C., from No Child Left Behind and all
Right.
the other crap.
Yeah,
that-
and the race to top,
they-
which added on to it, yeah.
and
Right.
these are basically federal unfunded
Right,
mandates.
oh, yeah.
That didn't even get paid back to the towns.
No,
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 not at all.
So they promised they'd give the funds from the federal government, and they never came.
no. Of course,
I
they
mean,
didn't.
I have no issues with somebody, with special needs to be put in, a school
Yeah, of course.
with other kids. I think that's great. But to have them in the same classroom all day long, what does that do to that child that wants, that excels? One size does not fit all, I understand.
Right,
But the thing is, why would you slow down the learning on the other children?
right.
That I don't understand.
No.
You know what I mean? And that's why we got some great special need teachers. Londonderry has an awesome program,
Right.
okay, because they have a separate classes and everything, for the children. They actually bring in kids from other parts of the thing, the
Around
cities there.
surrounding area,
Right.
yeah.
But the thing is, it's still costing our taxpayers money for this program because, like John, you said, unfunded mandates.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, they promised, they
And-
forced in it was probably, morally, it was a good thing
Mm-hmm.
to start to take them out of institutions and try to incorporate
Right.
them into classrooms as best as you can.
They saved money in that area.
Right.
Okay, but they screwed the taxpayers in the other area.
But what I'm getting at is, that's a good principle, but there is a point at which that you're just expending so much money on people that, I mean, there's some kids who are special ed kids who will reach a plateau around 12 years old,
Right.
and that's it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how much money you spend on that child.
That's right.
I mean, including them so that they feel part of
Right.
the system is good,
Mhm.
but expending huge quantities of money, like trying to, to meet No Child Left Behind is just.
But you know that
foolish
12-year-old
waste of money.
that where he's leveled out in a school. Now, if you get him into a charter program,
Right.
a lot of them excel in a different atmosphere.
No, I'm talking about kids who are severely
Oh, severe,
mentally
right.
retarded.
Oh,
In
yeah,
other words,
well,
they're
It
not.
would be great if
Right.
the tax money could go follow that
Yeah.
student into
Right.
the charter school,
Mhm.
even though that's a state licensed school.
Right.
It still is privately funded.
That's actually kind of what we did a little bit this year.
We need money
Yeah,
to
we
go.
did. We put money out. I think it was 5,500 per child.
No,
yeah,
5,000 per
Yeah,
child.
something like that
yeah.
per child, but it costs 10,000 or 12,000.
Mhm.
to do
Right.
that.
No, what I was thinking of we passed a law just recently so that if a town doesn't want to send their kid to the local high school, they can send it to a charter school
Right.
instead,
Mhm.
which was huge. I mean,
Oh,
because the
big
teachers
time.
did not like that.
No, not at all, because they feel it's taken away from the public
bet.
school. But see, the thing is, if you got a child, and I had a my son right now is the one that's doing movies, and I have to be honest, when he was young, we were worried. Okay, and we're in California. First thing in California is put him
But
on
did he take
Ritalin.
after you mean?
Put him on Ritalin. And I refused. I'm not putting my son on Ritalin. Never did. And my son got a bachelor's degree in communications, and
Right.
he's making money doing TVs. He's a hyper kid.
Right.
Okay, so I honestly believe that's a lot of our problem. Is the first thing out of these doctors is in the schools because
Let's
he's
drug
hyper.
'em.
Let's drug him up. Let's string him up, and then you screw the kid for life.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing, and it's a disgrace. But I was fortunate as a Marine, because I come home from the field. I was gone for a week, and my ex-wife had brought him to the doctors and everything. Oh, everything's great. They're going to put him on Ritalin. Like, bull, BS.
Right.
Yeah, he's
Right.
not going on that stuff.
Right.
And I already knew the liberal ways of California.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I'm glad I made that decision. I didn't listen to the doctor. But some parents are getting SSI. They're taking advantage of their
Wow.
kids on Ritalin.
Wow.
They're putting in for disability money for their child.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
now, you know what I mean? We're taking a
Wow.
child
Right.
and we're using him in the system
Right.
because the doctor says he's got some issues, he's hyper. Let's get SSI money for him too. So now it makes the parent want to more keep him on Ritalin. How do I know this? Because I have some relatives,
Right, sure.
that I see what they do.
Yeah.
In the program there, so they can get welfare. SSI money don't count towards that because it's for the child.
Right.
You know what I mean?
They found a way that it works.
That's right. It's a
If it-
racket.
But you know what? If it wasn't this racket, it would be
Mhm.
another
That's
racket
right.
because they use the kids for money.
So
all
the
time.
almighty dollar is really screwing this country.
Oh yeah, sure it is.
Sure.
The almighty dollar.
The almighty
because,
fiat
Right.
currency.
because somebody a low middle class or low income there is taking advantage of. There's another way for me to get more money off the system and use my child.
Sure.
Now, if you've got a child that's in a wheelchair, with high disability,
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
God bless
yeah.
you. I support that in a heartbeat.
Right, 100%.
But an overactive child because you don't have the patience to
Right.
deal with him, I'm sorry.
Right.
I went through that like I said, I have a son, and he's successful. So,
Right.
thank God I was
They
there.
didn't have that stuff when we were kids. Who
Yeah.
knows what, we suffered
would-
from that we don't know because they didn't have anything to fix it. So
Right.
Al,
They just made it through.
I wanted to ask you, how do you think after you had Comey's testimony and testimony yesterday, what do you think about all this?
Well, I'll put it this way here. I called it on Comey. Because if you look at my tweets after Comey's testimony,
Yeah.
I put a tweet out that night. I said, Comey's testimony is he's looking to sell a book.
No way! Oh,
Yes.
really?
Of course
If
they
you
do.
look at my
Yeah, they all
tweets,
got books.
if
They
you
all
go
got
back to my tweets the night of Comey testifying, I put out, I think Comey's, with the stuff, the way he put it out there. He left these in the windows and other stuff there for the American people to grasp on and say, wow, Trump there's problems. Sessions is messed up,
Yeah.
And then Loretta Lynch is messed up, and the way he put that stuff out there. And then he said, well, I can't talk about it. We'll talk behind closed doors.
Right.
So he planted a seed and
So
hoped that it
people
would
want to
grow.
buy his book.
That's right. That's what I believed on just listening to the way
There
he
was a
talked.
lot of it, yeah.
I felt that he wasn't truthful.
No.
I felt that Sessions put him in a spot when Sessions said exactly what he told him. He
Right.
never told Sessions. He never told his direct supervisor that he was did about what happened in the room with Trump by himself.
Right.
And he never told them that he was at the Trump Tower in the office by himself with Trump and other places,
Right, right.
many other times.
Yeah, one of the first times he was alone with Trump was by his request.
That's right. Yes.
Lynch is going to get it now, though. Lynch, I mean, there's a lot going to come out
Yeah.
on Loretta Lynch now.
Oh, big time. I think the collusion's going to come out. It's backfiring on
Oh,
him.
it's going to be serious
Because
on her. It's coming up.
with
any
the
day.
un-
Sure?
Oh, I think
Do you
so.
know, with the unmasking, okay, all that stuff's being checked now, investigated. What right, the laws are in place for a reason. General Flynn's conversation should have never been leaked out.
Right.
That's a felony right there, whoever leaked his information
Right.
out.
Comey
Okay.
just admitted to leaking
Yep.
information.
Comey just did that too, and he signed the documents and everything, understanding whatever he wrote, whatever notes he did there, and the FBI stays there. This is why I don't see how he can write a book and make $10 million.
Did Loretta Lynch ask Comey not to investigate Hillary?
Yes.
Well,
According
from
to-
what
according
he
to-
said, what Comey said, he wanted her, don't call it investigation, call it a matter.
Yeah, right. Don't call it right.
Right.
Call it a matter.
Now, I don't know what they talked about behind closed doors, but stuff leaks out there, and it's against Trump. But nothing ever leaked out like Marco Rubio said, that Trump is has never had investigation.
Right.
You know what I mean? But yet they're all going after Trump, 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 Trump. Get over it. You know what I'm saying? They need to get over it.
You bet.
He is the president. I get over it. I was unhappy Obama was the president, okay, because I felt he was useless on national security and other
He's
stuff.
useless on a
He
whole
had no
myriad
voting
of
record, nothing. But I respected him. I was even in the Oval Office with Obama. I shook his hand. I didn't, I respected the office of the president.
Right.
Unlike these liberals today, they're out of control. The riots, the smashing of,
Well, that's what led up
cutting
to
off
that
freedom of
shooting today.
speech.
That's what led up to that
Serious
shooting.
Right.
what's happening today.
You had an Antifa member, short-haired, this woman, had a stick with a nail in it and
Oh, yeah.
jabbed it into
That's
a
right.
horse.
Where are the cops on this here? Where are
What
they?
is it? Where? What kind of
I,
planet are they from?
I just watched a video of a transgender getting into this African American guy's face who was there for Trump and kept telling him, "Get out, shut the f up, shut the f." And then he took a swing at the African American, decked him,
Amazing.
decked him.
Oh yeah,
Good point.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But all he wanted to do was say, to understand what this was all about, what was wrong.
yeah.
They
they
what
don't
was
wanna
wrong with
talk.
Trump?
All they can do is scream.
Yeah, and then when they don't get that, you're not believing them, then they call you names.
Right. It's violence and name calling. That's
You know,
what it does.
I have to say this. I was a proud Democrat for many years. My grandfather was the three-term mayor, Cambridge, Massachusetts. I grew up
Right.
in a liberal city. I grew up with Tip O'Neill, the Kennedys.
Right.
I had breakfast lunches with them. You know what I mean? As a kid.
Yeah.
What I seen today, the Democrats yesterday were moderate Republicans. The Democrats today, okay, are more progressive.
Right.
They're going too
communist.
far left to the socialism. I won't say communism. I say socialism. Okay, because communists want to take everything. You know what I mean? They want everything. Everything's government control. At least socialism there, they want to take most of your money and then all your business and then redistribute your wealth to everybody else. Communists don't redistribute wealth. So
Everything's owned by the state.
right, everything's
It's all-
owned. But
everything's-
but
Yeah,
these
but I think
progressives, that's why I left the Democrat Party, because I even said to my grandfather, and my grandfather was a moderate, but he was for rent control. People that own 3-story homes, apartments there, were getting like $100 a month for rent. And they couldn't maintain the upkeep of the house because of rent control. So finally, my grandfather and others got out of there. They fought, and the people stood up and, spoke out. Now Cambridge is a well-to-do city because people fixed all their homes now. They get more money for rent for their apartments. It's expensive to live there now. But the bottom line is people that invested in these properties, couldn't get nothing out of it.
You know what's funny is I used to listen to NPR a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I like to hear both sides of an issue. I almost find them I'm not able to actually listen to them
I
for
don't
any
like them.
stretch of time. I'll tell you what they
Right.
did today, okay? So last week and stuff like that, we're always talking about Trump's collusion with the Russians.
Right.
Comey blew that out of the water
Yep.
last week.
Should.
Okay, we already knew that there was nothing, but he admitted that A, there was no collusion, there was no evidence of collusion.
Mm-hmm.
B, that Trump said, if there is any evidence of collusion, I
Show
hope
it.
you get
Right.
them and get them quick, get them
Yep,
good, you
that's
know.
right.
So Trump was never trying to stop it.
No.
So that kind of, and then Sessions' testimony yesterday cleaned that all up.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what they're focused on today? They have they have to report the shooting at the baseball game,
Right.
right? But they said, well, we're going to talk about that tomorrow. Today, they focused on two subjects. One was that Trump's property, prior to being president, most of his property was sold to private individuals. Now most of it is being sold to LLCs.
Mm-hmm.
And they think this is some sort of corruption.
Mm-hmm.
Remember what they did to his daughter? His
Oh,
daughter's
yeah.
clothesline?
Right, yeah. And then her business is booming.
Well, yeah, but at first, the liberals came out and attacked her and her clothing
Right,
line
yes.
because she was Trump's daughter, and her stuff started tanking,
Right.
right? So if you're a business person and you're going to buy some property off of Trump, why wouldn't you buy it with
Now,
an LLC instead?
just so you
Just
know-
so your name,
Right.
you're like if you've got a law firm in say D.C. Okay,
I don't know where they're getting
well,
it.
just
Trump-
let me. I'll be
go ahead.
quick. If you've got a law firm in D.C. and you want to buy a property from Trump, if you buy it from Trump and your name goes on the thing, all of a sudden you're going to be attacked by all these whacked out liberals.
Right.
Why wouldn't you just buy it with an LLC so there's
Right.
no evidence?
Okay.
So I think that's what that's all about, but they're making it look like it's some conspiracy.
Now, they're making it look like he's selling off his property when he's really not. His sons are taking over the properties. They're running them. It's already been proven there's no law whatsoever that there's a conflict of interest of a president having to sell off his properties.
Right.
He doesn't
They're
have
not
to.
finding anything on it.
Right,
That's
they're
the
not.
funny thing. And
They're
not giving up.
assuming, and we all know what assume means. So they're going to try to go after him on, like, for instance, they're unhappy because people are renting his place there that he built at the old library in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
Okay, they're using that against him now because his foreign governments are staying at his hotels. Well, foreign governments have been staying at his hotels for years and years.
Right.
Okay? But the bottom line is he turned everything over to his family.
Yep.
So what they're trying to say is because you run for public office, you ought to give up all your wealth.
Yeah, that's
That's,
insane.
but you don't see any of those congressmen giving up their wealth, their
They
businesses.
get wealthier.
That's
They
right,
get
they
a
get
lot
wealthier.
They're wealthier
Look
when
at
they
Bill
leave.
Clinton.
Sure.
Look at the Clintons, Hillary. How did they become millionaires off the government?
Right.
Okay, so that was the other thing. So they said they had a whole article on the LLC.
Mhm.
Then the other article they did was on that, was the emolument clause of the Constitution, how there's a law firm attacking Trump on the emolument clause of the Constitution. And for normal people, emolument means getting, like, if we get money from, because we're state legislators from some group, we were only a limited amount of money we
Right.
could take, because that starts violating the emolument clause
Right.
because you're using government to get rich.
Mhm.
Okay, so that was the other article. Instead of talking about the shooting and the wacko
Right.
lefty that shot those people, they're talking about LLCs, and they had another article on the emolument clause and how Trump, they think, might be violating that. And like you said, they spent zero time, as far as I know, last year talking about the hundreds of millions of dollars that went into the Clinton Foundation, the $500,000
Right.
Bill Clinton made in speaking in Russia, and the money Podesta made by having stock in Uranium One.
You know,
It's insane.
public radio needs to start standing up on their own and not with taxpayers' money.
Right.
Okay?
We should,
That-
that should be
because-
defunded.
Yeah, I don't
It's
even.
just another
NPR
word.
should
Yeah,
be
It's
funded.
just
NPR needs.
CNN on the
Right.
radio.
That's all. That's all they are, and they're using taxpayers' money.
MSNBC, I'm
Right.
watching Joe Scarborough and Mika in the morning. For 15 minutes, I'm like, I gotta turn this off. I mean,
It's,
it's
You got to decipher
it's
what's
lies,
BS and
it's disgusting. It's just a total disrespect for the office.
But-
I mean, these people literally hate Trump.
But
and
you know,
everybody down.
progressives are like puppets.
Yeah.
They just, you pull their string. All you got to do is tell them something. They
Pull the
they agree
string.
with everything.
Right.
They don't know how to trust but verify, like what Ronald Reagan said. They just agree and go by what everybody says.
And they're lockstep. I mean,
That's
one
right.
is just like another one. It's,
You ain't kidding.
It's really kind of.
I mean, God
entertaining.
bless those Washington D.C. officers today that
Yeah.
stood up.
Ooh, boy,
Good thing
yeah.
they were at that field.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because what the damage would have happened.
Right.
You know, I mean, I was up at the State House and there was a conversation. I was with I won't mention the name, with a Democrat, and they said, about, well, do you carry a gun in baseball fields? I said, no, but I got one close by. And they said, I said, count yourself lucky that you got Republicans here. That if something ever happened here, you're protected.
Right.
We'll protect you, I said.
Right.
But I said it quietly there,
Right.
so.
Right.
And they're friends of mine, but as soon as you talk the guns there, they all get all nervous.
Right.
They think, well, the criminals should have the upper hand.
Hey, is there? I didn't listen to the news. Is there any recent news on whether or not this whack job got those guns legally?
No.
Where did he live? Where was he from?
He was from Illinois, I think.
They have some pretty tough gun
yeah,
laws.
Right. He came from Illinois. They're trying to say, my wife and I was listening to the radio coming here on Fox News, and they were saying that he been in Washington, D.C. or Virginia since March.
Yeah.
But they don't have any information whether he's working yet or not. Okay, he had a rifle and a pistol. I don't know what type of rifle he had yet.
They said AR.
Then I heard them say today an AK-47.
I heard
They
You know,
usually don't know what they're talking
right,
about.
they
They
don't.
always say AR
Yeah.
AK because they
Right.
need the news.
Oh, yeah, they want to make the news in the AR.
They-
But most people don't realize 30-06 or others are a more powerful weapon,
Sure they
a
are.
larger round and everything else, and a 5.6
Oh, yeah.
round there. So, you know what I mean? But they get, because of the way it looks like it's military, they get scared. It's like I'm wearing different clothing
Right.
than you.
Oh yeah.
So,
Gun's a gun. It's
The gun's a
tool,
gun. It's just got a different suit on it.
Right.
Yeah,
You
that's
know?
actually, for people who don't know, an AR-15 shoots a 22 caliber
Well,
bullet,
yeah, 5.56
Yeah.
millimeter.
and it's pretty quick.
Mhm.
Okay, but it's basically a varmint round.
Mhm.
It's most people won't even hunt deer with it because it's not powerful enough.
Right.
Almost all deer rifles are far more powerful than an AR-15.
Well, an M14 and a SRS, a Vietnam version, a Chinese version, rifles they used during the war shot 7.62.
Yeah, that's a deer.
You know what I
one.
mean? Yeah. So when I have rounds, I have guns like that too, and for
That's the
protection.
AK or is that 308?
No, that's a
No,
regular
no.
long SKS rifle. Matter of fact, if you look at my wife here,
7.62 is a 308.
No,
No.
It's different. The 7.62
Yeah,
by
it's a-
39, which is
That's
a
a
Russian
Mhm.
short.
right?
Yeah, that's an
Okay.
AR.
If you look
That's
on
an
the
AK.
bottom,
It's
there,
an AK.
I don't know if they can see. Well, that's my wife shooting with an AR-15.
Yeah,
my-
impressive.
But if you look at the bottom, you see the SKS that's sitting to the side
Yes, right. Oh
there?
yeah,
It looks like an M14.
right. Sure.
That's a Chinese version.
Oh yeah.
Right
That's
there.
SKS. Yeah.
Right, but I also have a Vietnam version, on the SKS. And, great rifle. You drop
They're
in the mud,
fun.
they still shoot,
Right.
But the problem is people get scared. And I was talking to somebody else about this here, and they're saying, oh, well, we should have lessons, teach people to shoot. I said, let me show me where there's it's broken here in New Hampshire.
Right.
Where's the issue? Oh,
Right.
it's in Chicago in here. Where's the issue in New Hampshire?
Right.
We're the safest kind of state in the country. Show me where the issue is.
Right.
They can't do it. You know
No,
what I mean?
I wouldn't mind if they started reintroducing safety and gun safety and shooting in schools again,
Right.
like what we had when we were in high school.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know about Cambridge.
No,
but
I didn't have it
Rocky-
in Cambridge, but,
and I grew up about 30 minutes
Right.
outside of Boston. We had shooting team.
My father was a city worker, okay, and plus he had a side company there. And my father on the weekend would take us to the dump with us there and have a 22.
Right.
We'd
Yeah.
be shooting rats down at
Oh
the
yeah,
dump
yeah.
in
Love shooting
Cambridge.
rats.
Right.
You know what I mean? We used to shoot them there. You could do that.
Right.
And nothing, But now, I don't know what happened to the liberals. They're like, today, they're like a rock with lips.
They're scared.
You know what I mean? They're scared of everything there. And they don't realize our police do a great job, but they're 3 to 5, 10 minutes away.
And they're making the children scared. I mean,
That's right. And it's rubbing off
they're
on the
putting
kids.
fear of guns
That's right.
And self-defense and ready to.
And look at this, the safe play. If my kids were in college today and we had to come home and said, "Oh, Dad, we're in a safe place," there, I'm gonna say, "Your safe place. Your butt. Get your butt to your room. I'll show you a safe place." Where will we
Talking
go?
like that,
Where-
you ain't safe
but
around me.
but I'm saying, are we going? We're weakening our country. That's what's happening.
Of course.
Well,
the children
did
today.
you see Representative Frost last week after the testimony, after Comey's testimony? I forget who was cross-examining him. All right, and she listed a bunch of things, questions and answers that he gave, and said that she equated that to the rape culture.
Where did they-
Cross-examined.
How did they come up with this stuff?
I don't know, but do you think that she posted something yesterday when that Democrat from California was going after Sessions?
Oh, probably not. You
I
think
don't
she
think so.
posted anything with Sanders when he was going after religion?
No.
I doubt it.
No.
They're out of control. If we give up 1 inch of our freedom, that's why I don't care what I say. If you don't like it, don't listen. Walk
Right.
away. And I didn't take the oath for the 22 years in the Marines there to give up 1 inch of my freedom of speech.
You bet.
So if you don't like what the hell I'm saying, tough. Get over it. Toughen up, buttercup.
Right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's the way I look at it. Strengthen these children. Yeah, get them with the program.
Yeah.
I
You
know,
know-
the fact that they have to have safe places in colleges is comical.
These kids, these kids that are graduating today, many of them aren't going to be successful.
How can they be?
They don't know how to kick in doors and make things happen.
Right.
They want everything done for them.
How the heck can
You know?
somebody get into going from an environment like that where they feel that they have a right to feel comfortable, regardless of where they are, that nobody's going to infringe on what their beliefs are?
Yeah.
How is that person going to possibly survive in any corporation?
I don't see it.
So as soon as somebody
yeah.
comes up to them and they're supposed to be doing Project X, and somebody says, "Well, I really think that's a dopey idea. We should do
Yeah.
it this way." What are they going to run to their safe place?
You ain't kidding. Do you
Well,
see?
there's corporations that are making that.
That's
the
crazy.
norm
We're
also.
making it worse.
They're making it worse. They're
Right.
saying, "Oh, yeah,
They're
well,
enabling it?
We will give you a ping pong.
Did you see the
table. We'll give you
Muslim
a swimming pool."
lady that was on Tucker show? Now, I served in the military with
Yeah.
Muslims. Never ever did I see them go off and pray. They were side by side with us in brotherhood.
Right.
It says, cover each other's butt.
Right.
Never did they pull this stuff, well, I need to go
course.
pray 5 times a year.
Right.
This Muslim woman was on Tucker talking about they want a special room for Muslims in businesses and all over the country paid by taxpayers so they can have a safe place to go to and talk. And Tucker kept saying, well, what do you want to talk about? That you need a safe place for? I was sitting there talking to the TV saying, you got mosques just like Christians have churches.
Right.
Okay, go to your mosque, go to
Right.
go to your churches, go to your synagogues or whatever. You know what I mean? We have for freedom of speech, for freedom of religion, yeah, but they're making it so hard, and I get so disgusted. I just want to say, the Muslims I met were great people.
They are great.
They
And
never, they never ever pulled anything as a Marine.
Right.
You know what I mean? We stood side by side in war and other stuff.
You bet.
I
You know?
I think what it is part of. Okay, I'm gonna say something that's probably going to offend a lot of people. All right.
Should I go to a safe
As long as
place?
it's correct, then
Should I
I
go?
believe it
Should I go to a safe
You
place?
probably are going to need a real safe place.
All right.
The women's the women's
Maybe we need
march.
a disclaimer.
The women's march down in D.C. I think is
My wife and I was there.
okay. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
the
the
women's
day
march
after.
down in Washington D.C. You had extreme leftist women, because most
Right.
women are not like this. Even Democratic
They
women
wouldn't
that I
allow-
know
they wouldn't
would
allow
not
pro-life
be
women.
dressing up as vaginas
Right.
walking around.
Yeah. It was a disgrace what I seen.
Yeah. So you have the ultra left wing Democratic women
Hmm.
on the same stage with a woman who's advocating for Sharia law
Right.
in the United States. And anybody with any common sense, if you look at this strictly from a logical stance, there's a complete disconnect there. Okay? Because if you're a feminist, why would you want to encourage or adopt
I don't
Sharia
understand.
law,
Yeah.
which would require people to
agree.
wear burqas and everything else? That's insane.
And lose your license.
It is insane logically, but it is absolutely makes perfect sense spiritually. because they are on the same page. They are both anti-Christ. Okay? And because they are anti-Christ, they have a common enemy, which is Christians, and so that's why. And I'm not saying, like you said, there's a lot of Muslims that are great, okay, but they're not anti-Christ.
Right. No.
They follow their own religion, and
They accept our customs.
they accept our customs,
Right.
and they're part of the United States.
Yes.
But and it's the same thing with ultra feminists. There's a lot of women who are quote unquote feminists because they believe in rights and to be treated equally and to get the same pay and all that other stuff.
Right.
But the ultra left and the extreme Muslims, they have a common bond, and that common bond is they both hate Christians.
Do you know, my wife and I I gave a couple of speeches to the Bikers for Trump rallies in Washington, D.C. Now, on the Saturday, my wife and I were at this park there where I was getting ready to give a speech. Well, we got invaded by the women's march there, and then also these bunch of guys. But anyways, make a long story short, I'm on the stage speaking, and I look out and I see these guys with the masks on.
Oh, the Antifa?
Yeah, the Antifa, people all dressed in black. And I says, you don't intimidate me. I said, you can do anything you want. And here's all the bikers start going, all standing there like this here. But, by the end of the day, of course, the bikers, you put them in their place real quick.
Yeah.
But anyways, at the end of the day, when we were there hanging out, my wife and I, do you know with the band, the country band that was there, the bikers were dancing with the women from the Women's March. Because once there was a pastor who spoke and gave them the opportunity to speak their mind. Because what he said, this black pastor says, you all don't care about the millions of black babies being aborted.
Right.
Now you're cleansing out the African American community.
Oh,
He said,
yeah.
you don't care. He said, you want to have debate? We'll have debate. So he gave him a chance to speak. He spoke, they spoke, he spoke after me, this guy, right?
Yeah.
Before you know, at the end of the day, they're all dancing, getting along.
That's
Because
awesome.
the miscommunications within a lot of these liberal progressives, they don't know their followers. Once they learn and see there's another path, they start realizing. Because some of them say, what am I doing?
Right.
You know what I mean? When they realize,
Well, does
the other side's not bad.
There's the other side of that equation too, is that once you actually start opening up the communications, people stop being a demon that
Right.
somebody has created in their mind and become a human being.
Right.
And-
And the black pastor kept saying, keep race, keep everything out of this here. Tell me what your issues are. They couldn't. They couldn't talk about it. They couldn't really say, well, Trump hates women. Trump got all these daughters, he's got women in high places.
Yeah, he has plenty of women employees.
Because he made a locker room comment that women let him do something. Now it's against the world. I mean, all the prima donnas, all the saints all come out marching.
Right,
You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right,
Give it
right.
a break. Give it a break.
Yeah, that was a whole setup anyway.
Yeah, I mean, you should see some of the signs that children were carrying. This is our future.
Right.
Vulgar, signs that they were carrying. Like you said, a woman's vagina in a picture. There's kids carrying this stuff with these signs. F Trump, this and that.
Awful.
It was
Awful what they were doing.
it was a disgrace what I seen.
Yeah.
I would never in a million years allow my children
Right.
to be part of that.
Day after the inauguration.
Even if they wanted to be there, I would say no.
Right.
When you're old enough there to make your own decisions, right now, my rules, my house.
Right.
You know what I mean? This is the way it goes.
Yep.
I was shocked at
Those
the
women that were there, they were raising little militants,
I
marching
mean,
with them.
We're
That's
bringing
that's what
up
they were doing.
kids to
That's it.
raise them up to be socialists.
Right.
Why wouldn't you want the freedoms that we have in our country to come and go, the freedom of religion? I was prepared to die for my country, for the Constitution.
Right.
I was prepared to die, like many of my other brothers. It kills me to sit back and watch these mothers and fathers that are so damn weak and, oh, no, don't say that, that hurts my feelings.
Right.
Kiss my, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what I say. Is this live?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Somebody call in. Tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah, speaking of live, we got
Yeah.
telephones here.
Tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, call in, and if it's possible, could we put the website link to this
You
TV?
mean the number?
Yeah, what's the telephone number and the web link of this show so people can watch it online if they don't have
John,
TV.
you know, we're in the greatest country in the whole world. You know, I've been all over the world.
Bar
I've been
none,
in,
not even-
I've been
there's not
in,
even
more,
a close
I've been in
second.
more countries that people only dreamed of.
Right.
Third world countries, seeing people, you know, no bathrooms on the streets they're living.
Right.
I kiss the ground I walk on.
You bet.
And that's why I would never, ever in 1,000,000 years give up 1 inch of my freedom.
No one's ever died trying to leave this
You ain't
country.
kidding.
Right?
Ain't that the truth?
Right.
You know, they're dying
They
to get
risk their
in here.
life to come in.
That's
but
right.
Nobody's ever risked their
Right.
life to leave.
But other countries, I've seen it, I've felt it. Other countries are threatened by our freedom.
Remember all the
You know?
remember all the Hollywood morons who were threatened to leave if Trump
Oh,
was
yeah.
elected?
Yeah, they ain't leaving. They're still flying around in
Yeah,
their
they didn't
jets.
leave. Right.
Yeah, they want everyone else to cut back, but you're flying around in jets.
Yeah.
And you got the little progressive puppets believing it.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, oh, climate control,
Amazing.
climate control. Give it a break. Go back this day 100 years ago
Right.
and look at the way the climate was.
Right.
I bet you it was a sunny day. You know what I'm saying? Huh? You might have had a few little sprinkles.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it was probably in the 80s.
Yeah.
You know, but that's the mentality, the stupidity
Right.
of the people we deal with.
Right.
Well, the thing is I think the operative thing is, one thing I wanted to say tonight was, regardless of the guy that did the shooting today down at the baseball field, all things point to a liberal Bernie support.
Right.
Okay.
But I can't blame Bernie.
No, you can't. I don't either. But I think people have to understand what happens is in a human mind is it starts out with hate,
Mm-hmm.
and then they feed it.
Right.
They watch this show and
Right.
this show, or they
And
watch this
The
comedian.
lies and deceit.
The what's her name was
Right.
showing the severed head of Trump,
Mhm.
and they keep feeding the hate,
Right.
and it's like this ravenous wolf.
Right.
And if you keep feeding it, eventually it grows.
It's going to
enough,
get worse.
it
Yeah.
destroys
Oh, yeah.
your soul.
Right.
And while it's destroying your soul, you might end up like this guy and
Right.
killing innocent people just because you've fed it so much. That's all you can see is rage.
I think this is the second Sanders supporter that's gone wild. You know, there was another incident there a while ago there. I'm trying to remember. My wife was telling me about it on our way here.
Well, the guy
You know,
that shot up the workplace was a liberal transgender. I don't know if he was a Trump supporter.
And what I don't understand, even the homosexual community and their support with, with certain Muslims that are going against Trump, these terrorists want to kill homosexuals. They throw them off roofs and kill them and shoot them and burn them in other countries.
Yeah.
Why? I mean, you know, I don't care who you are, what you are, whatever. It's, you know, we live in a free country.
That's right.
But the bottom line is, why would you be going against somebody like Trump that wants to keep terrorists out of our country? I don't understand this here.
That's why I said it's.
We were with Trump right from the beginning.
Yeah, I know,
You and I,
yeah.
From before the
Right,
beginning, we
yeah.
were with, there was no question.
Right.
First chance I had, that was it. I
right.
knew it.
I mean, you were in it, I think, before me because I took the summer off. I met him in the beginning,
Yeah.
but I met other candidates, but I wasn't about to endorse anyone because my family time is during the summer with my children, my grandkids, and everything else. We have a family home in Mashpee, so my wife and I do everything together, and
Yeah.
so we're down to Cape Ball. And I knew once I commit, I would be there like I was with him. I was all over the
Oh
country.
yeah, you were
and
great.
you
You were
did-
great.
You did
Absolutely.
You did great.
So, and I
No
was
doubt about
fortunate. And I have no interest in going to Washington, D.C.
Right.
You know, I got a lot of medical issues, which I don't want to talk about, but I'm happy right where I am fighting for veterans. I can fight from here,
Right.
from New Hampshire, for all over the country.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
But to get back on this terrorist thing, if I may,
You only got about 2 seconds.
do you?
Go ahead.
but you know something? I heard, felt, slept, drank it in other countries on how they want to kill Americans. We need to wake up.
Right.
That's all I wanted to add.
And
to
it
that.
isn't all Muslims.
No, it's not.
To be totally
It's not.
clear,
No.
Muslims are getting a bad rap in a generalized sense. They're some of the greatest doctors we have, some of the greatest business
Yeah.
people. I mean, they really are great people.
I ran Kuwait International Airport when the Marine
But we're
Security
talking
Airfield.
The fundamentalist Islamists, and those
I
are the
met
ones that we need to.
Women and children that their husbands, were killed right in front of their children. They were raped in front of their children. The stories I got from other people.
Right.
were a
Yeah, you
disgrace.
know, when my first, I don't know if he was in there when you guys ran.
A lot of them are animals.
Tahir?
The
no.
radical ones.
No.
The radicalized ones.
No.
There
There was a state legislator that a Muslim from Manchester. Here, I forget his name. Oh, man.
Yeah.
But anyway, he was one of the most honorable state
Right.
reps I ever served with. He would not even go for free lunch, regardless of who was giving it out, because he felt that was a violation of his oath of office.
Yeah.
So, super awesome guy. He was right here from Manchester. Like, I
tell
don't
you,
know. Saggy to hear.
Oh, Saggy.
Yeah, that's
He
He
was
was
a
a
great guy.
great guy.
I love Saggy.
Yeah.
Saggy was an honorable man.
Oh,
he
yeah,
was.
he's
You know,
wonderful.
always, hi, how you doing,
Yeah.
this and that.
Right.
You know, I love Saggy.
Yeah.
We have I don't even know if he's Muslim, Indian, or a representative. What a great guy, Abdul.
Oh,
can't
from the
think of his last
Seacoast?
name. Yeah.
He's a really nice guy.
What
yeah.
a, you know what I
Right.
mean? But see, it's these radicalized people
Right.
that want to kill Americans. They're threatened by our ways. They want women, you know, in the house. You don't walk by yourself.
Right.
You know, and if you got raped, you better have 3 witnesses.
Right.
Otherwise, you're going to be beat. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's-
you'll end up with you losing your
Yeah.
life because you got raped.
I don't understand how American women are silent on this.
Right.
Where's the feminism? Where are all these feminists? They're silent on these women being beat. Can't drive, can't vote.
And I'm
Right.
telling you,
Yeah,
You
they
know?
want to. If they want to fight it
That's
battle,
right.
go over
if
there
you
and
want
fight.
Sharia law, go over there.
Yeah, go over there and help
Yeah.
the women on
Go
those
over there.
countries.
Protect the women in our country
Absolutely.
that we want to equal. My wife is my equal.
Yeah.
I'm no better than my wife.
Right.
she's
you
a lot
know?
better looking than you.
Well,
Hey, we'll see you guys next week.
Honored to be here.
Yeah.